There are a lot of YouTube videos about the dangers of canola oil. Specifically, they say that canola oil is an industrial engine lubricant or an industrial solvent that was repurposed to fool you into buying poison. And not just canola oil, there are a lot of videos about the dangers of seed oils in general. Dr. Brad Stanfield and Dr. Carvalho on Nutrition Made Simple have both addressed these dire warnings about seed oils, and boy, people do not like to hear objective data on this. I'll link to those videos in the description, but I want to specifically address the warnings about the origin of canola oil being an industrial solvent or engine lubricant and some related information about a specific toxic compound supposedly found in canola oil. These warnings about canola oil have actually been circulating on the web since around 2001, starting as viral email and Facebook messages. They warn people against canola oil because it is highly dangerous to humans, according to the post. According to such messages, you shouldn't use canola oil because it is made from a genetically engineered plant developed in Canada, which, I quote, is part of the mustard family of plants. It is claimed as well that rapeseed oil was an industrial engine lubricant that was modified along with a name change to canola to just fool people into consuming it. Like other such warnings concerning foods derived from the mustard family, some of the messages probably play on the perceived correlation between mustard gas and the mustard plant. But there are other rumors based on the history of canola oil that play into this. I'll break the rest of the video into several parts to make it easier for you to follow along. Part 1. Does mustard gas come from the mustard plant? Mustard gas has nothing to do with the mustard plant or any plant in the mustard family. The gas derived its name because the impure form used in warfare had a yellow-brown color similar to mustard powder and an odor sometimes resembling mustard plants, but other times garlic or horseradish. This was due to the sulfur content. Part 2. The mustard family. The mustard family is actually called the family Brassicaceae. This is the family from which all cabbages and cruciferous vegetables come. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cresses like watercress and wintercress, radishes, my favorite, turnips, kale, rapini, and many others. It could also be called the cabbage family. In fact, this family is the single largest contributor of plant foods to the human diet. It consists of 330 genera with around 3,780 species around the world. Therefore, warning people about the dangers of canola oil because it's derived from a plant in the mustard family is nonsense. Canola oil is extracted from the seeds of Brassica napus, Brassica rapa, or Brassica juncea species. These plants from the mustard family are also called rapeseed and other similar names. And the oil derived from the seeds of these plants is also called rapeseed oil. Part 3. The canola name change. So the same warnings of the toxic dangers of canola oil correctly state that canola oil is not the name of the actual plant and that rapeseed oil was renamed to canola oil by combining Canada with oil. This seems to infer that the name was changed to hide the true source of the oil. However, the true reason the name was changed was because a cooking oil with the RAPE word in it probably would not sell well. So after this name change, most Canadians adopted the word canola not only for the oil, but for the plant and its seeds. Part 4. Canola oil was genetically engineered. Recent scare lore about the dangers of GMO foods have only heightened fears about canola oil. However, the canola oil warnings claim that the plant was genetically engineered even though the production of the oil predates such GMO production by around 20 years. While some canola oils sold today do come from genetically engineered plants, the oil being sold at the time the warnings began did not. Instead, selective breeding was used to produce plants that produced a low amount of erucic acid. This practice of genetic modification has been going on for hundreds of years, and all of our modern plant foods are based on this practice. This is certainly true of the cabbage or mustard family. For instance, this large head of green cabbage bears no resemblance whatsoever to its wild ancestor and was only made possible through careful selection in cultivation. Now, there are many different types of net lore about the dangers of canola oil that we could talk about, but for the remainder of the video, I want to focus on some of the more specific claims that have been circulated. Part 5. Does canola oil contain trans fats? Canola oil has not been hydrogenated and so does not contain any artificially induced trans fats. If any, only trace amounts of trans fats will exist. These fats will not have occurred on purpose and will pose no danger to human health due to their minuscule amount. Part 6. Is canola oil a pesticide? Specifically, canola oil is claimed to be a biopesticide. A biopesticide is a type of pesticide derived from natural materials like animals, plants, bacteria, and certain minerals. A number of common, mundane household products could be used as a biopesticide. And it's true that rapeseed oil has been used as a biopesticide, although there are much cheaper and more effective oils for this, such as petroleum and tar oils. Rapeseed oil has been used as an oil emulsion, as a summer spray on apple trees, and as a biopesticide, it poses no chemical threat whatsoever to humans or animals. So when canola oil is sprayed on trees, it will smother the eggs and pupae of overwintering insects, and when diluted, it can be used directly on such pests as mealybugs, scales, mites, thrips, and many other pests. Only insects or eggs that come into direct contact with the oil are affected. And as I was saying, canola oil is only one example of a household product that can be used as a natural pesticide. For instance, plain water is a pesticide. Small insects that eat the leaves of plants in your garden, such as aphids and mites, can be knocked off the plant when you spray them with water. So sure, those little buggers will climb right back up, but many of them will have had their mouth parts damaged from being forcefully torn away from the leaf they were feeding on. So regular spraying with water can help control such insects. Saying water is dangerous because it's a natural biopesticide would be silly. Another example of a natural household biopesticide is soap. Soap can control aphids, small caterpillars, mites, and other insects that have soft bodies. Similar to oil, soap only kills insects on contact. It will not affect insects crawling on the leaves after the soap has dried. And soaps are made from oil, so perhaps we shouldn't bathe with soap. Although the warnings seek to link canola oil pesticide use with its claims of toxins, its effectiveness as a pesticide has nothing to do with toxins. Instead, we can see it as more of a mechanical effect. Part 7. Is canola oil used as an industrial oil? Rapeseed oil in highly refined states is used as an industrial oil. And there are many other examples of oils that are used for cooking and human consumption that are also used in industry. These are oils such as soybean oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and linseed oil. The last deserves some special attention. Linseed oil has a number of important industrial uses. It's used to make oil-based paints and as a wood finish and protectant, and it's also used to make linoleum. Linseed oil comes from the seeds of the flax plant. In other words, it's flax oil, the same flaxseed oil that contains the beneficial omega-3 fatty acids and is sold widely as a nutritional supplement. Now, rapeseed oil is made from plants that contain a large amount of something called erucic acid, and used to produce oil containing up to 50% erucic acid are thought to pose health risks to humans and are not suitable for use in livestock feed. They are therefore mainly used as sources of industrial oil. This erucic acid is a specific compound that you are often warned about. Part 8. Is erucic acid in canola oil highly toxic? Many parts of the world still produce high erucic acid varieties of canola oil for human use rather than only industrial use. Erucic acid was, incidentally, the magic ingredient in Lorenzo's oil, which was a supposed cure for the genetic disease adrenoleukodystrophy. Now, while there is debate about the effectiveness of erucic acid and oleic acid for delaying the progression of ALD, the treatment does have some efficacy, especially in those with milder symptoms. But canola oil is a specific trade name referring to rapeseed oil made from low erucic acid plants, or LEAR, L-E-A-R, and most oil made in Canada and Western Europe is this type of oil. Erucic acid can be found in other foods and oils such as sunflower oil, salmon, cereal grains, and nuts. Its supposed danger to human health is based on scant evidence. The regulations concerning the use of LEAR oils for human consumption are based on studies from the 1970s, where experiments found evidence that erucic acid may be cardiotoxic in rats. As well, in 1970, over 20,000 people in Spain were poisoned, a tragedy that became known as toxic oil syndrome. This poisoning was initially thought to be caused by erucic acid in rapeseed oil, but further investigation has shown that erucic acid was not to blame. Erucic acid was present in such low amounts that researchers found it could not have been the source of the poisoning. Further research by the World Health Organization ruled out erucic acid as the cause of poisoning. Due to the limitations in the early rat studies and the proven fact that erucic acid was not involved in toxic oil syndrome, together with its beneficial role in neurodegenerative diseases like ALD, you should rest assured that erucic acid is not highly toxic to humans. While it's probably not good for humans in high doses, like a lot of things, it's not the dangerous villain it's been made out to be. And again, regardless, canola oil is only made from low erucic acid plants. It contains a high proportion of monounsaturated fatty acids, which are beneficial to human health. Part 9. Insects won't eat canola plants. This type of claim is common in such internet myths. Often, insects, bacteria, mold, animals, they will not eat the offending food. This claim that insects will not eat rapeseed or canola because it is toxic is simply untrue. Rapeseed has pest problems, and a lot of them, just like any other plant crop. Part 10. Where did these canola oil rumors come from? It probably started with an article by John Thomas called Blindness, Mad Cow Disease, and Canola Oil, published by Perceptions magazine in 1996. Thomas made a number of claims. Quoting from the Thomas article, canola oil comes from the rapeseed, which is part of the mustard family of plants. This is the most toxic of all food oil plants. Like soy, it's a weed. Insects will not eat it. It is deadly poisonous. The oil from the rapeseed is 100 times more toxic than soy oil. Canola is a semi-drying oil that is used as a lubricant, fuel, soap, and synthetic rubber base, and as an illuminant for the slick color pages you see in magazines. It is an industrial oil and does not belong in the body. He went on to say that it formed latex substances in the blood, just like soy, but worse. And it caused blindness, emphysema, respiratory distress, anemia, constipation, and irritability. There is no evidence whatsoever to support any of Thomas's claims.